Well, oh, I muted myself instead of unmuting you. All right. Hey, everybody. As you were just saying, total professional. Absolutely. Welcome to
100%.
RPG Help Desk, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the little Adventures in I plushie commercial. I got to write and direct that. Keeper Days, the voices are... I was Mole Cutpurse. Jack is bad impressions of all of the characters. And Jesse Schwab is the announcer. So there's your answer. But if you don't want to order plushies and you want to talk about RPG stuff, good news. You're in the right place for both. Because I'm here with Kelly Clark from Dork Tales. Say hi and let people know about the cool stuff you do.
Plushies. I feel so underwhelming by comparison, but
No.
hey, everybody. I'll get them
great.
someday. I'll get them someday. I want them. They look so cool. Buy the plushies. Hey, everybody. I'm Kelly. I'm the Forever DM over at Dork Tales. We are a tabletop network that creates content like 3 to like 50 times a week. Like we have so many games that we run, like everything from D&D to like Vampire the Masquerade and a ton of additional stuff. Most of us are Canadians in the Pacific Northwest. We're all just a bunch of geeks that love telling stories, and we have a great time doing it. And if you're looking for an actual play to watch, when you're done watching all this stuff on Second Wind, come watch us. You can find us on wherever you get your podcasts and your YouTube streams and stuff.
Yeah, I put up the twitch.tv/dorktales, but I believe it is the same for YouTube, correct? Just youtube.com/.
It's the same for YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. We didn't get it on Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter, because some French comic book got Dork Tales before we did.
Oh.
I don't know. It doesn't exist anymore. I keep having people try to sell me the domain name for more money than it's worth, but it is what it is.
So people absolutely do that. And fun fact, that's why the Adventures Nigh website is adventuresnigh.horse, because someone sits on the .com and is like, you want to buy it for this much? And we were like, no.
It's always like 10 grand. And you're like, what would I do? Okay. .horse?
Yeah.
Is it .horse?
We have adventuresnigh.horse.
How did you get .horse?
I don't know.
What
but
is
we did.
Where is .horse? I didn't even know there was a .horse.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I haven't heard anyone else use it either, and I think that's why they picked it. They're like, this is silly, and it's great. And that was, I think...
You don't have a horse plush.
We don't have a horse plush.
You should have just a horse that's just like a circular, like it's a horse.
That would go well. I don't know if you watch Drawfee. That would go really well with the Jacob horse. Drawfee is a delightful drawing show on YouTube. And they have a thing called a Jacob horse because none of them know how to draw horses. So Jacob just draws like a sausage tube with some legs. And they do have a plushie of that. Yeah, pretty much. That, but more of a nightmare. I don't like horses. I think they look scary and they're uncomfortably
I'm dating a horse
muscular.
girl, so like, yeah, right. And I'm like, horses are expensive and they're big. You're right. They're honestly they're muscles that kick, and I don't like that. I'm a dog guy.
And they got spindly legs. They have so much body, and then these little itty bitty legs, and like
better hair than me.
Yeah, and like luscious, like. They're
on their head and their ass.
Yeah.
Like, why does their ass have better hair than me?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
They're if you described horse, they're horror creatures. Like they got spindly legs, they got too much muscle, they got long hair. Their mouth goes so far back, but you only see the front with their little lips. Like it's weird. It's so weird, and I don't like them.
Mm-hmm. The only thing weirder is probably a giraffe.
Okay, but giraffes work. I like giraffes. They're like weird enough to be cool.
I guess I can see that. Yeah, a giraffe. It definitely. I saw a post the other day that said if you told me that a giraffe existed and that a unicorn didn't, and I didn't know any better, I'd say you were a liar. Because what seems more plausible, a horse with a horn or a giraffe? And it's like, you got a point there.
Yeah, add horn to real creature or create this absolutely gangly ass weird thing. And it's like, no,
with these weird like alien nubs. At least like, God,
yeah,
they're weird. They have antenna.
They do.
What the hell is a giraffe? Anyway, so are we making magical creatures today?
Yeah, we have a topic, which we may or may not stick to, but we are talking about making magic items feel magical. I feel like that is extremely useful thing to do because in a lot of games, magic is just it's a rule. I mean, which is important
Yep.
because you have, everything needs to be balanced. You want people to feel like, oh, I didn't make a mistake. Like, oh, this is a thing I can do in the world. But also it's magic. Like it's supposed to be kind of otherworldly and like unpredictable or like, ooh, it's
Mhm.
magical for lack of a better term. So
Yeah.
like,
Like friendship.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, how do you, and also everybody, now's your great time to, if you have a way to make magic feel magical, put it in chat. And if you have a question for us about that, also put it in chat. Don't talk about horses though. That's not today's topic.
Yeah, it's not. It probably will be by the end of this.
Probably.
Uh yeah.
So
So how to make Matt?
so
Yeah.
how do you like what is I guess I'll start with this is what is your personal favorite magic system in a tabletop RPG?
Mage the Ascension. Zero hesitation on that. It's a World of Darkness game. It
Yes.
is. Oh God, do you know Mage the Ascension?
Yes, I've played I that might be my favorite magic system as well. It's
Oh
so
my
good.
God, did we just become best friends? No. Uh, yeah. So you know Mage. So Mage is for if you don't know Mage, it is the game I actually started. It's the first game I ever played a full campaign chronicle of
Wow.
when I first started out. And it's a game where your belief system allows you to affect the world around you. Basically, you can believe something so hard that you change reality. Some good movie touchstones would be The Matrix. Neo is absolutely a mage. The
Yeah.
characters in the Wanted movie are definitely Bulletproof Monk. If you ever saw that, amazing movie. Oscar
Have I
worthy.
seen that? I don't think
But
I
it's
have
it's
seen that. I need to.
it's Chow Yun Fat and Stifler from American Pie.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's the gangly white guy learns Eastern magic type of trope movie, and
Okay.
it's pretty iffy. But if you want some really trashy early 2000s mage fuel, oh, it's
Ooh.
good.
I
I think it's on Netflix, so
Ooh, okay.
whoever you're borrowing your Netflix account from, go watch it.
On that, if you have you seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2?
No, I've seen one, but
Yeah,
there's a second one, of
there is. I think it's a Netflix original film, and like
course.
I'm not going to argue anything about its quality as a film, as a story. I don't care. The fight scenes are amazing. And
Okay,
like I feel like that's a good fuel for that. Also, if you haven't seen Reset the Counter, The Man with the Iron Fists. Have you seen that?
I actually haven't seen the Man with the Iron
You
Fist. I'm putting
should
it on my. I'm taking notes for this. Man
absolutely watch Man with the
with.
Iron Fists. If you want magic as a form of martial art, it's delightful.
Oh yeah,
It's
of course.
there's it's oh my gosh, I love that movie. Uh
Yeah. So on the subject of
yes.
like favorite magic system though, talking about like magic kung fu, mage is kind of cheating because it's all based on belief. You can have like 50 different campaigns out of it. You can have like an all kung fu game where everything is like, Street Fighter rules.
Hmm.
Or you can have everything that it's just so good. It's so good. But what's your you said yours is mage as well, right?
It might be. I do really like Mage a lot. Um I like the way like something like Fate works as well, where you can kind of like
Okay.
have name a thing magic and like a specific kind of magic, and then that's your role for it. So it's like sort of magey where it's way more loose and
Mhm.
abstract, but you can
They
do
used
more specific things with it.
Did they use Fate for the Dresden Files RPG?
Yes. There was
Okay.
a let me hang on. I'm pretty sure
I've
there
got the books
was
on my
that
shelf
was
somewhere
Dresden File
because you've read
RPG.
those books, of course. I
I
feel
I
like
have not.
have you not? They're
No, I
they're not
haven't.
bad. They're definitely like serialized like supernatural fiction, right? Like the kind of stuff that came out in the early 2000s. Good stuff though. Like fun to read. And if you get the audiobooks, James Marsters does the does everything. So
Ooh.
if you want to hear Spike read everything in his slightly southern voice, pretty fun.
It is indeed Fate. Yes, I was correct. The Dresden Files
Okay,
RPG
so
is
that
built
makes
on Fate.
sense because you get to do a lot of weird magic in that universe. I think it's really hard to go from something like Mage to something like D&D in many ways. I've had so many tantrums with 5e where I'm like, what do you mean that spell can't, like, it has to be on a horizontal surface?
Yes. Be like, but
Maybe I want to summon a firewall in the air.
yeah. Well, yeah, I get 10 that's it?
That's it?
What?
What?
If I just
And
had
then
force magic, I could do all these things. Yeah,
exactly.
that's that's kind of a follow-up question too, is like
Hmm.
the upsides and downsides to popular magic systems. Because I think there are some good things about the way like Pathfinder and D&D
Yeah.
do magic, in that you have a set list, choose what you want, that's what you have. And if you aren't the kind of person that wants carte blanche with a concept, like
Mhm.
in Mage, where it's like, oh, life. Sure, I'll just go to go ham on that concept.
Yeah.
We absolutely love that. Not everybody is into that, and they want some structure and rules, and
Mhm.
also the
Well,
ability of balance.
Well, the balance allows you to bring in new people easier a lot of the
Hmm.
time. It allows you to bring in people of differing backgrounds. Some people aren't particularly creative. And so having the ability to go off a set list is very useful for them. Whereas some people hate that. Like I have some
Yeah.
players that absolutely will not play D&D because the magic system is too rote. It's too structured.
Hmm.
And having that ability to go into something with everything prescriptive, like it is in Dungeons and Dragons, is really very good at having that hard rules to a magic system. But I personally feel that aside from the accessibility, it takes a lot of the magic out of, pardon the joke there, but it takes a lot of the magic and wonder out of it because it becomes no different than, say, swinging a sword. I was looking at the wish spell the other day, and I was stunned by how limited it is in scope. It
Yeah.
it I always forget how little you can do with a ninth level spell that everyone has horror stories about,
Hmm.
you know? And it's like, okay, you can cast a lower level spell, you can do a couple things, and there's like a 30% chance or 33.3333% chance you'll never be able to cast it again. That's okay. That's kind of weird. But it also is very difficult because when you are, say, plotting a game that has like a wizardly big bad evil guy, magic works in this very prescriptive formula where you have level spells from cantrip to ninth level,
Hmm.
and then if you want to do anything beyond that, you're the dungeon master. You can do anything you want, but it does feel a little cheap going outside of those rules if the players don't have access to that same type of thinking,
Yeah.
you know. And you have to pull some pretty big narrative gymnastics, and I see that a lot in like adventure modules. Like I'm running Vecna Eve of Ruin on my channel right now, the big wrap up game, and they did him dirt. I mean, you can do Vecna dirty. Vecna sucks, but like it's really weird. Like they have a bunch of magic items with that are really like, oh, you need this item to do this, and it's magical and it's part of this ritual, and you're kind of like, well, why? Like, why is it here? What is the purpose? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It does this thing, and it feels like the really structured magic systems can paint a dungeon master into a corner
Hmm.
more than it can help them when it comes to the creative side of things, and maybe that is, I don't know, part of the intent to take that level of free form creativity out, because I don't want to say it's like not creative, because you can be incredibly creative inside of the system, but
Yeah.
it's harder to be free form.
Oh, absolutely. Because even if there's a thing that you want to do, like and it exists in the game, there's a threshold of, well, it's a spell power in one of
Mm,
these, and you need to try and balance that with whatever
mm,
your encounter is. Um, and yeah, that if you're heavy into reading and like, oh, I want to know what every possibility is, I'll retain that information and then I will use it in my
Mm,
leisure across my games. Or if you're like running a module and everything is set, like this is what people can
yeah.
do. Awesome. When you go, nah, I just want whatever to happen because I think it'll be cool. Like I like to run games. That does become a bit of a problem because I'm not going to read every
Yeah.
spell. And if I did, I would not retain the information of every spell.
Well, and if the moment you did, they change editions.
Yeah, that's also true.
Like, right? That's also the way it works. Is
Yeah.
like they've changed counterspell for the new edition so that it's very different. I had a big argument with my partner about that actually because she really hates the new counterspell because in 2024 counterspell is a constitution save for the person you're
Mm,
counterspelling apparently. And I'm
okay.
like, that's dope. That means that like in the Vecna fight at the end of the Vecna module, I can use legendaries on it. I can just be like, nope, you can't counterspell me. I'm a god. You know, I get at least 2 or 3 of these that I can just kind of like throw up my collar and be like, nah. Versus, a level 5 wizard being able to counterspell a god if they roll well is like,
Yeah.
but then again, but she loves that. Like she wants that chaos, and I'm, fair, but also, kind of hard to do your job as the DM sometimes.
Yeah, and I like that chaos. I want games with that chaos. But I
Mm,
want I feel like a game like D&D is not built for that. Like
I
something
don't think it
like
is either.
Savage Worlds is built for that. It has
Yeah,
exploding die. They expect things to go absolutely bananas sometimes. Like and that's built into
I
it.
I just ran my first game of Daggerheart last night, and very much the same, like the new game from Critical Roles people at Darrington.
Okay.
Same thing. Like it's really free form, pretty neat. If you like a lot of stuff from like Powered by the Apocalypse, they draw a lot of inspiration there.
Okay.
So it's really narrative, and I think I like seeing the role playing industry kind of leaning into a lot of these like creative,
Yes.
more free form types of narrative fiction, which is what
Mhm.
we're doing. Like it's a game, but it's also an improv exercise
Oh,
for
absolutely.
us theater geeks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh I also again more the narrative side. I will always want role playing to be
Mhm.
a part of every mechanical decision. Like every mechanic, everything that you can do, I want the attitude, the beliefs, the understanding that everything that you as a character are to inform that decision, that power, that ability, that skill check, that whatever.
Well,
Even if
that
it's just the reason you're doing it.
you get so much drama out of that, right? Like
Yeah.
it makes it important when it's the Spider-Man gotta do it for Aunt May type of like, everything's brought me to this moment where I have to lift a building, and I don't care what happens to me. You get those dramatic moments, but you can't do that in a lot of very static systems.
Yeah.
And it would be for good or bad. It means that they're far less common, which is good so that people aren't like lifting buildings every other session. But
Right.
you know, but yeah, that's my opinion though on structured magic systems. I think that they're really good for bringing new people in, but
Mhm.
and particularly for certain types of players, it's very useful. For certain types of DMs, it's great. I don't know. I like a little more razzmatazz.
Yeah. Meredith D mentions that when I ran a mage, one of the players disliked it because she didn't want to be creative. And yeah, sometimes you like want to have some players want to do that where they're like, yeah, these are the rules. I will follow them and have fun. And it's like, yeah, but you could
Mhm.
just these are the rules and then you do whatever you want within those rules and it's but also you can kind of bend them. It's what I love about Mage, but it's also like,
Yep.
yeah, these are the rules, but then you can break these rules. But then like maybe the gods of magic will get mad at you, but like maybe not. And then if they do, it might be. It's like understandably that's a lot to take in and be like, how do I feel about that? Like totally
I
valid.
mean, Mage is it's graduate level role playing, man. Like it's
Hmm.
like you gotta when you play it, it's like it's going for like your master's degree in role playing because it's so you have to know like what your character's doing, why they're doing it, what they believe, and then you have to understand that what your character believes is not what really is happening,
Hmm.
right? So it's like ooh, it's Matryoshka dolls, like little Russian nesting dolls of beliefs, and it's so much fun though. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think my dog's about to burst into the scene,
That's
but
fine. We stand a dog.
I have a little puppy incoming. He's a big puppy now.
Oh. I will say for rigid magic systems and like being, like your D&D and your Pathfinder style stuff, one thing that they are good at, if you want to introduce that, is magic items. Oh, I gotta pause that thought to look at that dog. Oh my gosh, what a regal dog.
He's pretty regal.
Sitting up like
How you doing,
human.
bud? Sitting up like human. All right, go see your mom.
Oh, so cute. Distinguished. Yes, very.
He's so distinguished. He's only 9 months old. He's very calm.
That dog is
Because he's been with
9 months old. How big is he gonna get?
I don't know. They said he was going to be 50 pounds, and he's 70 right now. So
I mean,
he's
they
a mutt
weren't
from the
wrong.
Humane Society.
He was 50
Yeah,
pounds, and then
was
he kept
50
going.
pounds.
That's technically
Yeah.
correct.
It's the best kind of correct.
Yeah. But yeah, so rigid systems, I feel like what could work really well there is magic items. Because at that point, you could be like, is there a spell that lets you teleport between shadows only cast by living creatures? Yeah, maybe. I'm not going through that. This is a pocket watch that does that, and it's the only time you can do that, and it has 6 charges left because I gave it to a villain and you beat them and now you have it. And now it's like, ooh, okay, you have a set thing, it has these set rules, it fits within the world, but you've put some limiters on it. And like maybe a player could like, ooh, I really want to learn the spell that this is based on. And then that could be a whole side quest for them. And then you can make rules for it.
Oh, totally.
Or you could just be like, yeah, this is dumb and fun. Have fun with it until it burns out. Like,
It's really, I think the best thing that was ever created for D&D is the Wand of Smiles. It's if you don't know the Wand of Smiles, like viewer, it's a wand and you point it at someone and it makes them smile. And when you use it like 50 times or something like that, it becomes a Wand of Frowns.
oh,
And it keeps like flipping back and forth. You are getting your collar taken off because you are a noisy boy.
That's really great.
All right. You
And
are naked. Be free.
Silvernothrall, you can tell me how to pronounce that if you want. It says we play a homebrew 5e game and we have added so many spells to make it more diverse. Yeah, there's a lot of like splat
100%.
books that have extra spells. I mean, I'm generally one of those people that's like, oh, you want to make a spell? As long as you're okay with like us retconning certain parts of it and like changing how it works once we realize that we've done it incorrectly and need to nerf it.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
100%. Especially, I love it when you can reflavor spells. Why can't Fireball be Ice Ball or Sonic Ball? Like, who cares?
That
who cares?
is,
it's fun.
That's canon in like pretty much anything that I run, especially a rigid system like that, where it's like, oh, you want this to be this element? Okay, yeah, sure. Acid Ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Acid Ball. Don't know how that works, but all right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I just want it to be like spooky vibes explode out of it. It's like, okay, cool. Like you're a ghost witch. Sure, that makes sense. Like why
Ghost Ball.
Yeah, like why wouldn't I want that to play into your character? Like why would I want to take away that level of role play that you are putting into it?
Well, and also it just makes everybody the same. Like, okay, that's not fun. If every wizard looks like every wizard, then we want diversity in our wizards. Magic should be diverse. Magic is everything. It should be all sorts of weird stuff. I don't know. That's what I like.
Absolutely. I feel like that's a really good point on making magic feel magical is make it weird. Like do a thing that like, okay, shoot fireball. All right. Can magic fire kind of act a little different than like normal fire? Like, can you do something to it that makes it clear, oh, this is of a magical source? Like, you can't just light something on fire like this. Like, even if it's strictly like thematic, like it burns at a literal faster rate and looks like fire on fast forward. Like that there is a
or it
image.
Doesn't burn inanimate objects at all. It can just like lay on them. It only burns flesh, or maybe like it you can do all sorts of weird stuff. It doesn't have to play by the rules. It's literally violating the rules to exist.
Yeah.
Like, and that's cool. Like that's, I don't know. The wonderment of it is so cool that when you do things like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, magic items. Magic items could be so much fun.
Oh yeah, and
Who
like
does who
you
doesn't want
get,
a magic sword?
and if you just make it the one, it's like, yeah, this is a thing. Have fun with it. Speakeasy bring up, can you do that with scrolls? Yeah, and then you could do that with the scroll if you want a literal like one-time cast. If you anyone who's played like Numenera or the Cipher system, like a
Mm,
core element of the system is one-time use items, and the
yeah,
constant churning of one-time use items you get, and you can only hold so many, so you're incentivized to use them even if it wasn't the ideal situation. It's like, but you can only hold 3, so like, sure, burn it now, why not? You're gonna find another one. And so
which one have you played before?
I
Like
played
of the Cypher
Numenera.
system? Okay, I'm running a game. I ran a season of Old Gods of Appalachia, and
Ooh.
it's under Cypher, and it's the same. You have like a jar of grandma's sweet tea filled of like fairy teeth and stuff like that. It's like I don't even want to know what this does, but like you get some really cool stuff. It's such a weird system.
Yeah.
Good, but it's definitely hard to get into after playing a lot of D&D where you're like, well, okay, well, it's interesting. I'm going to trust you, Monty Cook.
Yeah, it's definitely its own thing.
I mean, it's a well-designed system. It just takes a little bit to kind of ease into it and figure
Hmm.
everything out, but it's interesting. But I agree. Like it allows you to have that type of flexibility where the players the problem is that you have to make sure that they don't just hoard magic items and then just
Right.
or like not hoard them because they can only have 3, but like sit on them,
Hmm.
you know? I'll save this until the last episode or, like every Skyrim playthrough I've ever done. Why do I have every suit of armor? I don't know. It's awful. Monty Cook betrayed us.
Meredith does not like Numenera. I'm
Oh,
curious what you find disappointing about it. If you can
yeah.
sum that up, because yeah, it's not like one of my favorite systems, but I think what it does is interesting and it's fun to pick up and play. And I
Hmm.
also very much the She-Ra style world of Numenera I think is really interesting too, where it's like you're a billion years in the future and everything is weird.
So I've never played Numenera. I've heard a lot of things about it, and it looks really cool. But so it's very She-Ra?
Yeah,
As
have
a
you?
He-Man stan, I think I could do this.
Yeah, because like, have you? It's I've only seen the it's part of the like Netflix whatever the like current. Well, I guess it's off the air now, but
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
She-Ra uh
Okay, where you've
show.
got, like, knights, but also, like, tanks that fly and things like that?
Yeah. So the idea
Yeah.
is like it is super far in the future, and you are looking at stuff that like is from the past, which is our distant future. So you don't know what it is or what
Hmm.
it's supposed to do, but you know if you kind of use it like this, it does let you to let you teleport. You're not really sure what it's supposed to do, but it will teleport you 10 feet as long
I
as you do
really love
this.
I love duct taped magic items
Yeah.
as a concept. I don't know, man, if I shake it upside down and say something in Swahili, it makes me a daiquiri.
Yeah,
What?
that's a Numenera item. Like there's
Okay.
the way my friend
I would play
pitches
the hell
it.
out of that.
Yeah, is like it's like you found something. It could be like, what was it? It was the, windshield wiper of a spaceship. But like you don't know that, and that technology is so far in advance of what we have that the
Mhm.
things it can do is like amazing. So,
So it's the whole, sufficiently advanced technology
mhm,
thing. It's indistinguishable from magic at that
yeah.
point.
But it's also like
Okay.
so far in the future, you're a bit post-apocalyptic, not quite, but like a little bit. Like
Mm.
humanity is like spread out, and there's like different groups with like dangerous area between them, because you gotta have
Okay.
adventures.
Yeah. Well, you got to. You
Yeah,
have to.
but yeah.
Yeah.
My little knowledge of He-Man probably very similar because also She-Ra, same
It's
universe.
you should go watch it because like honestly, the stuff from the 80s, I rewatched it over like the holidays, year before last. It holds up. Like some of the writing, surprisingly sassy. I just thought that I was a sassy child. It turns out that I was trained by Hanna-Barbera or whoever made He-Man. It wasn't Hanna-Barbera, but like whatever Saturday morning cartoons. I miss Saturday morning cartoons. It's sad to think my kids aren't going to have those someday. If
They
I
have
have kids.
on-demand cartoons. It's not the same, but
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay. I guess it's never always the same. But yeah. So what's your favorite magic item you've ever seen in a game? Or like one of your favorites?
Oh man, one of my favorites was probably one that I made for a campaign. I made a whole campaign around. There were two legendary swords called Occam's Razor and Arkham's Razor, and it was Occam's Razor was if you're holding it and you say something and it makes sense, it will just become true. It will happen.
That makes sense.
And
Yep.
Arkham's Razor was the same thing, but if it doesn't make sense, it will just happen. And both of them had like a twice a use day thing. Uh,
Hmm.
they knew where both were. The big bad was trying to get them two, and they ended up each getting one. And like, and it was really fun because they were scared
How
to
have you
use it.
not seen He-Man? That's literally those are the swords of power. Like if you combine them, you would just have like the Razor.
Yeah, just the razor.
It's just a Mach 3 with 3 blades. You know, you can shave whatever you want.
It shaves in all three dimensions.
Yeah. Oh, 4 dimensions actually. It shaves time as well.
Oh my gosh, that's way
Yeah.
too powerful. But yeah, that was
So you can
probably
shave
one
it
of
for
my
later.
favorite magic items because I wanted to see. I like giving players stuff that like can cause problems and like that maybe they
Okay.
shouldn't have because I like seeing how they either don't use them or use them and then figure out why maybe they shouldn't, or
So
do a good job doing things I never expected and really pulling one over on me. I think that's great too.
okay. What's your opinion of the deck of many things?
I love it. The goal to the deck of
Yeah.
many things is to say how many do you want to pull, and you say all of them, and then you hope you get the wish before the death, and then your wish is I don't want any of the negative effects of the rest of
Of
this
the rest of
deck.
the deck.
Boom. You
Oh.
now have the whole thing.
But
And if you draw death first, you die, and oh well.
no, you can beat death. You can beat death. At
I
least
mean,
in 5th edition, like it has stats.
can. Yeah, but like, good luck.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing about the death card is that if anybody helps you, then another one spawns to fight that person
Oh, that's
in
really
5th ed.
fun. Oh,
So
that's
it's
really fun.
real fun. See, it usually ends up being an award. We do a lot of charity streams on Dork Tales to raise money for like Extra Life,
Mm.
and whenever we do that, we always have like donation goals for things like the deck of many things. And there's not an event that goes by where one doesn't get bought. And then, sure enough, it always ends up becoming just this cascading domino effect of death cards, of just people like, "I'll help you." 1,000 skeleton warriors later, it's a lot of fun, and it's for the children, summon
Yeah.
death for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. That
You know,
sounds really fun.
it's pretty good. I
What's
prefer the duck of many things, but that's just me.
what's the duck of many things do?
So it's one from this third party, but it's literally just like a mechanical duck that you pull its feathers, and it has like they're lesser effects, but it's a duck. So I get to go around making duck noises,
That's great.
which just is always better.
That's really good.
Yep.
Jabo 42 says a character of mine had boots of stumbling. They were really helpful because you clumsily did extra damage. You just had to come up with something that made sense narratively. That's what I love. It's something that like you have to tie your role playing into for it to work. That's
Yes.
lovely.
Love that.
So what was is your favorite the duck of many things, or do you have another favorite magic
I really
item?
like the duck of many things. I think that favorite magic item, that I've ever created, is I'm working on a module for a company right now, and I have I have a set of animated dentures that I
That's
came up
great.
with that I'm particularly fond of. They're like there were this I pull up the file, but basically they're like these magic dentures that this pirate had, and you can take them out of his corpse, and you can either let them just walk around and chomp things on their own, or you can replace your own teeth with them as an action. And it's just they're so weird. I like the really weird magic things where you're like, why would anybody make that?
Yes.
You're like, I don't know. He couldn't eat corn, like sometimes you gotta eat corn.
And
Um,
that's the thing in a world of magic. Like you would have things like that because you're like, oh well, I can't do this, but I could with a little spell. Boom.
well, and magic really defines how your world functions when you're doing world building.
Yeah.
I remember I was very fortunate. There's a Canadian author, I don't know if everybody knows him, named Stephen Erickson. He wrote like Gardens of the Moon, and he has this whole series. But he came to talk to my class when I was going through the writing program up in Canuckea, and one of the things he was discussing was how, at least in his world, magic enforced gender equality, and it eliminated all sorts of social issues like obviously like sexism, like a lot of racism. Slavery was out of the equation, because when anybody can throw a fireball in your face, their size, background, all of these things become a lot less relevant.
Mm.
And you have these people who historically maybe like are not as physically imposing, that are suddenly able to just blow you up, and it totally changes the way the world works. And I try to look at that when I'm doing world building, and think, okay, well, how accessible is magic?
Hmm.
Can anybody do it? Do you have to get a license? Do you have to go to school? Does that mean warlocks are cheating, or does that mean that sorcerers are nepo babies? Like, how does this work? Like, and if it does work that way, we're in a medieval fantasy setting, but if magic is widespread, what is our actual technological era?
Hmm.
Because you don't need technology if you have magic necessarily,
Yeah.
you know? And so like the homebrew setting that we have, like our home world on Dork Tales, is kind of like it's fantasy, but it has like franchise coffee chains, and like it's very modern. There are shopping malls where you can go get mass produced, like I went to the Dungeon of Horrors and all I got was this lousy t-shirt shirts and things that are like, because it's magic. It's
Yeah.
all accessible, and it really changes the way that the world works. Where a very limited magic system, like something like Game of Thrones, like I still don't know what happened to Jon Snow. I don't know why he's back. It just
Right.
happened.
Be like, okay, so the leech magic, like how many leeches do you need? How much blood do you need? Like it's very like everything is so specific and like tangential and like
Did you use the
uncertain.
blue leech or the red leech?
Yeah. It's like,
You
oh,
can't mix blue and red leech.
like what?
That's how you
Okay.
get the leech.
How long is the blood once the leech is it like, are we talking minutes, hours, days? Can you freeze the leech? Like, yeah, it's just way more intangible.
You can, but then the body gets gummy. You know, the flavor is off. Wait, are you eating the body or are you bringing it back to life? Two different types of leech, right? I don't know why the guy is like vaguely Russian, but
It's got to be
but
from somewhere.
I
Why not that?
I love that kind of weird shit. I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on.
No, you're
I'm
absolutely
assuming.
allowed to
Yeah,
fucking swear. It's cool.
yeah, I'll fucking swear. But I love weird magic. Weird magic makes it fun,
Yeah.
and it allows you to really like. I love joking with my players. Like it's so fun to have like really weird magic items in play. Now I want to pull up a list of some of. You know what? Actually, I do have a list of some of the dumbest things I've ever created.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah. While you're looking that up, I like that idea. And one of the things that we're talking about making magic magical, I think one of the ways you can do that is adding a level of like weirdness and like kind of social taboo to it, where it's like
hmm,
where you have somebody that's like, oh yeah, this is magical, but like, oh yeah, you know, you gotta use some leeches, you gotta do like some things that
yeah,
you could definitely pull at your players would be like, oh, and like that, you know, they're gonna be uncomfortable about it and be like, oh, leeches, oh, that's weird. Oh, you got dandruff, like, all right, like things that you know that can make them go, maybe you know what, maybe I shouldn't just use magic for everything. This has a cost, and I don't like it. Um,
right, yeah. I mean, foci and magic. Okay, have you looked at some of the so in D&D 5e, have you looked at some of the material components for some of the spells? Because they're really funny. Like some of them are really funny. There's um one of them requires like message requires a tin can and a string or
yeah.
something like that. And one of them requires you to give 2 cents. I forget what it is, but it's like some of them are really funny. Um God, they're so good. So, uh, really dumb magic items. I've got the Knight's Rest, which is a pillow that lets you sleep in full armor. I've
Nice.
got the cast iron, which is a frying pan that gives you a +1 to your spells. I've got
Nice.
the rum runners, which enhance your speed when you're drunk. I've got
Not your
let's see,
coordination though. So now
not your
you're
coordination. You just go
stumbling
faster.
just as hard. You're just doing it faster.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, the bee's knees, which are knee pads that either summon bees or let you dance really well. I never finished that one, but it was pretty good.
Nice.
Like just I love dumb jokes. Like you can have so much fun with them. Ship in a bottle is it. Oh, that ship in a bottle. I originally thought it was a ship in a bottle, and then you broke it, and then like a ship comes out. But
Yeah.
apparently, in my notes, it ships whoever breaks it, so that everybody thinks you're in a relationship for the next 24 hours.
That's great.
Oh, and my favorite magic item is the very movable rod, which is you push a button and you throw it, and it just never stops because it's got infinite inertia until you push the button again.
Does it
It's the very movable rod.
is it also unstoppable, or like if it hits a wall it will stop?
I think it's like an immovable rod where it's got like 5,000 pounds of pressure behind it.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it'd be pretty good. God, immovable rods are so much fun. I think actually they're probably the best D&D object.
They're
I
pretty
I
fun.
know that there's like a cap on what you can do with them, but I have a player who just loves like thoring dragons with them and just like, ah, this dragon's coming, a movable rod, drop it right in the path of its mouth and just whack. I don't care how fast and strong that dragon is, that's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna hurt coming out the other side.
I had a
Whoa. I just read the chat right now at what Crime Bastard wrote. Teleport requires 8 pints of blood from a sapient creature.
oh, that's too much blood.
That's too much blood. That I have a feeling that some major corporations would still use that to cut down on shipping.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I think I know which
That's
ones.
so oh gosh. So this is a like world building thing where you have like, oh, teleportation requires 8 pints of blood. Okay.
Hmm.
That means that synthetic blood is extremely important because that's what you're actually going to have in blood banks. Because you
Yeah.
need real blood for shipping.
I feel like that means that like vampires would definitely have problem with like next day delivery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, they're bleeding me dry. Blood. God, teleportation's another one. It's like if you have teleportation, like how do you write a story about that so that I mean, magic changes everything about a system.
Mm-hmm.
So if teleportation exists, how does shipping and travel go? Why do they have to go to Mount Doom? Can't they just teleport there?
Right.
Well, no, you have to have other reasons and excuses. Or the one that gets me is resurrection magic.
I
What
ban it in
do
every
rich
game I
people
play.
ever really?
Yeah, because for
I
that
allow
reason,
it, but
death is
because the
a tax. Like death is a thing. Death is a fine, essentially.
it's like parking fees, right? Like rich
Yeah,
people don't have like it's not against the law to speed. It's just a higher cost. It's a
exactly. Which I feel like sci-fi does a much better job in, because if you have death as a monetary inconvenience, you
mm.
have what's it called? Altered carbon. Like
Yeah, you have
that's
ultra carbon.
yeah, that's the world you have.
I mean, I think it's wrong to think because that kind of sets up the idea that like sci-fi can be dystopian and that fantasy is kind of utopian in a way
I think
because it doesn't have that. But fantasy can totally be dystopian.
it can. I feel like they do a worse job at realizing that they're creating a dystopian where it's like, no, but we can,
I
what you're saying, where it's like, oh, we can teleport and we can do this. It's like, but you haven't thought about the consequences. You're just thinking about like a ragtag group of people that have this
yeah.
amazing power and no one is
Who's the
mass
we?
producing and utilizing it.
I think that could lead to a really cool game where you have like this evil archlich who's actually just trying to tear down the system and return power to the people from the oligarchs that control everything and are
Yes.
like hoarding all the resurrection diamonds and like he's like, look, just because I'm dead, you know why I died? You know why I died? Because I couldn't pay my copay.
Does that
You know?
seem right? Does that seem fair?
Does that Lich Bernie Sanders?
Yeah.
You called it, Discordian. I am once again asking for $4,000 worth of diamonds.
It
I
doesn't
want to
make
play that
sense
character now.
that the average person should have to die when the oligarchs can just keep coming back.
They all gotta keep the dragons. Do you think dragons pay tax? Dragons don't pay tax. They pay a marginal tax rate on their hordes while you are getting bled dry. Oh,
I
I love it.
I love Lich Bernie Sanders. This is canon.
Oh God, he's so good. He's so good. I have a character like that actually in our homebrew world called Cresius the Undying. He's a lawyer who managed to like
Oh.
find loopholes in all of the contracts of reality, including death. And he's just this lawyer who you can go and get eternal life by selling yourself into service. And it's like, yeah, you get 1,000. You have to work like in the fields for 1,000 years growing crops, but then you get to live forever after the
Yeah.
1,000 years. You know, 1,000 years come first, but so he's not very well liked, but at least he's fair.
Yeah, that makes
I think
sense.
you have to be kind of fair, if you're an undead monster. Otherwise,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe you don't have to be.
You're gonna have people coming after you though.
You're just Strahd then. Oh, God, Strahd. I love Strahd. He's so bad. Oh God.
Otherwise, pitchforks. Yeah, exactly. They
Otherwise, pitchforks.
feel like fiction has taught us. Yes, that would be a problem. People will come after you. Okay, so I do have a very important question because I have a few things I want to touch on about this. Is like, and we touched on a couple things, but I want to know like some specifics of how do you make magic feel magical? Like what makes it different? I turned on a light and there was light. That's not magic, that's technology. That's mundane, that's normal. But in a world where I could be like, look, I've made fire, I've made light, I've cast light on something. What do you do to differentiate that? And not even necessarily they have to be in the same world, but just like, how do you make magic feel special and different?
That's a good question. That's a hard one. That's a very hard one. For one, you have to break down. There are several different ways. One, you break down who has access to magic, and you can do that in a very political way, or you can do that in simply more like the Force. Everybody has it, but some people are able to manifest it in a very tangible way. You look for moments of spotlighting, I think is the easiest way to do that, and think that, yes, you can do this type of magic, but is there a cost? Is there training that's required? There needs to be something about it that makes it special. And I think that the mindset that I always have going into this, especially with my background in Mage, is I grew up reading tons of like a lot of X-Men comics, for example, and Mage and X-Men are like hand in hand, that type of ideology. So if everybody has something special, they shouldn't all be the exact same thing, in my opinion. So you have to make each individual bit of magic unique, and that's why I love systems where you can be a little more freeform, because it allows you to do magic in different ways. Like somebody, like Raceland Majer can say Shirak, and like his staff illuminates with the light spell, whereas someone else, like a ranger, might summon fireflies out of nothingness, or a cleric might call down the power of the gods. So you have to, even if you can't change the mechanics, having players and dungeon masters flavor things according to different senses, different perspectives, different beliefs. I think that like even two clerics, for example, like a cleric of death casting a light spell should feel different than a cleric of light casting a light spell. The light spell from the cleric of light should be like pure and holy and bright, and should be very warming and a little hard to look at. Whereas the death cleric, it should be sallow. It should be a very like harsh light that like makes everyone look a little older, and the shadows look longer around it. And it allows you to put personality in there. I think personality is honestly probably the core of it, that you have to personalize the magic, and that does take extra work. It does make games like D&D, you have to take that extra step, but you can do some really great stuff by personalizing and customizing it. And I think a lot of players really shine there
Hmm.
if they just let their creativity and let their character take control.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that was a lesson I learned from playing Mage for so long, though, is that everything is personal and that magic is an expression of the self.
Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
should be like, regardless of system, that should be on, the player's mind of that exact thing of
Mhm.
it is you. And I also hardcore reflavoring. Yeah, you cast light, it's fireflies, it's, this
Mhm.
other thing, it's the sun, it's whatever, like whatever matters
It's
to
a floating light
you.
bulb,
Yeah, it's
right?
and it's only above your head.
Yeah, 100%. You've got a great idea.
That's a really good answer. Uh, a,
Thank you.
a thing I like to do too is like kind of showing the ability of magic, where it's like in
Okay.
mundane things. So it's like you can start a fire with magic and you can start a fire normally. That's a thing. When if you want to make magic feel special, like setting it up to where like, okay, oh, go go through a bit of the process. Like, oh, I want to start a fire. Oh, okay, well you gotta go and you gotta build. You gotta get some tinder. Oh, you gotta get your thing. You gotta set it up. What did you set up? Like TP style. Did you set up like how? Oh, okay. All right. The wood. You got flint and steel. You got both of them. Okay, you pull them out of the bag. Okay. All right. Now
Sure.
you try. The wind's blowing. It's knocking it out. Oh, you gotta put your back to the wind and do it that way so you can start your fire prop. Versus like, and then the sorcerer watching and just goes, and like it's lit.
I went to school for 15 years to be able to
Yeah.
do that.
Where it's
And
like,
someone's like, I bought a lighter.
yeah, where it's like showing how it's different. And you don't have to do that every time, but like letting players feel that difference, I think
Mhm.
can go a long way in like, ooh, there is something about this that like matters. And also giving a limited amount of time where they don't have access to it and then be super pedantic about like, oh, okay, yeah, well, you're in a non-magical area, okay, so none of your bags of holding work. How much weight is that? Oh,
Oh
okay.
no. Oh
Oh
no.
yeah, your food's
Oh
gonna
no.
start spoiling. You're eating rations again, huh?
Oh.
Oh, it's getting a little moldy. Like things that you
Oh.
would take for granted in that, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, you have this much weight on you. You can put three things on your backpack easily accessed. Everything else you have to take time to dig out. Like just things that
Oh.
make that matter on how much more special it is without it. And just, just
I
a session or two in a non-magic zone.
Oh yeah, it's got to be flavor. Like it's got to be something that just shows up for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to like make people frustrated that they have. I always forget about the bag of holding though.
Yeah.
I always forget about those things, and they're just oh my god. Everybody has them because who
Oh,
who, who
yeah,
wants to track
exactly.
inventory? You know, who
I
wants to worry
hate
about carry weight?
absolutely ammo, inventory, rations. No, this is none of
That
those
is
are counted.
one of my favorite things. There are several systems. I think they do this in the Alien system by Free League. Is you only run out of ammo when it's stressful.
Oh, that's
Like
so
you have
good.
and it's like because it's the byproduct of a failed roll. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
fail a firearms check, it's because you ran out of ammo or something, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good. Because who cares? It's a clip of ammo. Like you shouldn't have to count. Like it's if you want it to be cinematic rather
Mm-hmm.
than like very prescriptive or very like you're not playing this for like. I mean, some people are, but it's not like a real world simulator. It's a story simulator.
Yes.
So, like I'd rather have the drama of that because then you don't have those moments of, well, my player or my character would have remembered to reload extra clips and would have remembered how
Mm-hmm.
many bullets there were. And it's like, would you really? Like you're under a lot of stress right now and you're not John Wick as much as you want to be, you know? And even John Wick messed up a few times in those movies, especially the fourth one. That guy went down that hill a lot of times.
Oh no, I haven't seen it, but
Oh, it's so good.
oh,
He
okay,
gets
cool.
knocked down a hill a lot. It
I think Discordia was just now mentioning the thing that I was about to say. This is when it's stressful, you start rolling dice, and if you get a one, you subtract that die from your pool the next time you roll and run out when you're out of dice. Yeah, there's
yeah.
a different system that's like you roll ammo every time you shoot, you roll. It's like and whatever gun it is the die type. So like you roll a d8 for your rifle, and if it's
Is that
low
Savage
enough,
Worlds?
No, it's not Savage Worlds
Hmm.
because they actually have an ammo regular counter, but it's similar to that
Oh, they do.
style
Okay.
where it's like you roll, and if you get a low enough on it, you move to a D6, and then you roll, and then when you get low enough, you move to a
Oh.
D4, and so
Huh.
so it's like every time you're doing it, it's like you're getting closer. You could go thematically a long time and be fine, but like you're every time is that stress of maybe, and then every time it fails, your chances for failure increase because you're using a lower die.
Ooh, I like that. If
That's
you remember what that is, send me a message about that later. I want to see that.
I will ask because I think I remember the group I was in who who we were talking about that with. Like that's an ammo
That's
system
cool.
that I would like to incorporate more, even in games that don't have that. Because like in stuff like Pathfinder game I run, I pretty much just say
Mhm.
ammo and food will only matter if when we are in a situation where they do matter, and I will inform you that you have to start paying attention to that now. Like
And speak
otherwise, you have it because I don't want to keep
so
track of
speaking
it.
speaking on that front though, like certain spells in particularly games like D&D can be really a pain in the ass when you're running a game and are trying to enforce certain themes. I was running another module, Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is all about like scarcity in the White North. It's supposed to be very horror themed, kind of like
Mm.
a little bit like The Thing, right? Like, oh, you're in this frozen
Ooh.
land, and there's like everybody is like eating this diminishing population of fish, and everybody's cranky. I had a druid in the party.
Mm-hmm.
They can just cast Goodberry constantly,
Yep.
and it's like, okay, you just teach this spell to a bunch of people, and everybody's fine. They just have smoothies every day,
Yeah.
and it's man, that's a real mood killer. But
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so you're all getting hungry, and it's like, "Good berry." I'm like, "Oh, god damn it." It's a
Yeah.
level 1 spell. You of course you can do that. Urgh!
I feel like games like that are very much like counterproductive when they're trying to do something like horror or like
Mm,
scarcity when there's legit rules to be like nobody likes keeping track of rations, so we made a cantrip called Goodberry or Feast and Conjure Water, and you can just always have those things available.
yeah,
And then the moment you try to take them away, it's like, okay, I just do this. We're done. It's like, oh,
yeah. Well, and you don't even get me started on horror in D&D. I know a lot of people think that you can do horror in D&D. It's literally a system where when you kill the werewolf, you get stronger
mm-hmm.
rather than you walk away with scars.
Yeah,
That that is not like there's a level progression system,
yeah.
okay? It's not like you just it's not designed for horror. Pathfinder First Edition did a pretty good job of it, with like their haunts in some of their modules and some of their things, but it's still it's a power fantasy game,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that. I love
Oh
that,
yeah.
but, but it's not for horror. You can do spooky, but like horror, nah. You can do jump scares maybe.
Yeah, jump scares can work.
That's
And like I was talking about this with the Kendo who
mhm.
works at Cobalt Press.
Oh,
When
nice.
I had him on and we were talking about that and I was like, yeah, I agree. I don't think D&D and Pathfinder do horror well. And he's like, I think they can do some horror well if you have like kind of like slasher horror. Like, and I was
Yes.
like, all right, you know what? You got me on that one. You can introduce a bunch of horror themes and have a fun horror adventure in that. And I
Yeah,
will
I
accept it
can
can
see
do that.
that.
But yeah, if you actually want scarcity, if you want tension, if you want
Yeah.
like feeling uh like underpowered against something, and if you want something where the answer isn't you fight it, because D&D and Pathfinder, all of your abilities mostly revolve around fighting, where it's like, yeah, it
It's true.
really falls apart there.
The most interesting thing about, playing through Daggerheart last night
Hmm.
is I was doing a last minute cram of the rules, and I get to the section, and we're running it as an actual play, right? So, they don't have initiative in this engine. It's it's spotlighting, so it's like whoever should be doing this action does this action, and then it passes to whoever else should be doing it, and then, like, the GM can interject where it's dramatic, like a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games.
Hmm.
And it's cool, but on a as you can imagine, on an actual play stream where we're all like playing over the internet with each other, that can be really problematic. Like people will step on each other's toes. The half-second delay in transmission could cause some errors. So
Hmm.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, why are they doing this? And at the bottom, they say we don't want initiative in this game because we want people to feel like if combat begins, they don't have to participate in the combat if it's not what their character would do.
Mm.
And it got me thinking about how when you roll initiative in D&D, you are locked into fighting even if you're not a combat character, because the alternative is to not participate and to not work with the group. But if you wanted to play a character that tries to like talk down an angry mob, that technically is inside of an initiative phase, I suppose, but moving it away from combat into its own thing where the two are not connected is really kind of clever. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is like the coolest part of the game, and it's like this one sentence. And it's like that's good. That's good player psychology.
Yeah, I try to
And I lo-
do initiative as like I need you all to take turns. Like you don't, and I like it is there is combat or there is a ticking clock. Like something is happening
Mhm.
where everybody needs a set amount of turns, and I want to make sure everybody goes. And that no,
Yes,
you don't have to fight. Like you are doing something in this moment. What are you doing?
fair. And especially for like streamed performances or live performances, you need that structure. You need some type of
Absolutely.
structure. We tried it with the popcorn spotlighting. It went okay. It went
Mm-hmm.
okay. One character almost got missed. But like I figured, and I warned everybody in advance, like on stream, like we're gonna try this and see how it goes on stream,
Yeah.
you know. But we also have the benefit of having like a private chat between players where we can like, okay, I want to go next, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but it's yeah, structure is very nice. So what other questions do we have? What else do you want to talk about? So we talked about
I think, well, Crime Boss, this isn't a question, but brought this up, talking about,
oh,
or Crime Bastard saying, I like abstract inventory a lot. You can have small, cheap, and legal items if you want. If you want to
ooh,
change any of those keywords, you need to spend an appropriate amount of narrative currency. I love
mm,
systems like that, that have like, I think, is it Fate? One of them that like you can have rich basically as a ability where it's like, yeah, I have
it
money,
might be,
like, and being able to
it
do
might
that,
be,
and like systems where it's like, oh, okay, for every kind of what Crime Bastard was saying for like cheap and small and legal, it's like, yeah, you can do that. Okay, well, I want it to be a little better quality. Okay, you got to roll for it, and if you roll high enough, it's like, cool, you can get it, and the more things you have
mhm,
with your finance as an ability rather than a number that goes up and down, then you can afford it. And if
mhm.
not, then it's like, oh, okay, maybe it's out of your price range, or it's like, ooh, it's out of stock. Like there are narrative reasons
Mhm.
why you have not obtained this.
I played a game like that called Hardwired Island or something like that. It was a cyberpunk game, and it had that type of like you have all these different types of cyberware, and the question was, is it yours? Is it jailbroken? Is it owned by a corporate? Are you still paying off the lease on it? Right? Things
Ooh.
like that. Like it's your spine, but do you own it?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, does it have a warranty? And it's all these tags you can buy off. And it
Oh,
yeah,
it's really good.
it's really fun. Like, and it's you can definitely like get more stuff, but you just are on a payment plan.
Mm-hmm.
But that means you could be tracked and your data can be stolen or sold. And it's like, oh, do I want this or not? Do I use the social media where I'm the product? But it gives me my grandma's birthday. Well,
Right.
right.
I love that ability of give and take with something where it's like, and
Oh,
I
100%.
like that, especially if you have you can do this with a currency system, but I feel like it's easier with
Mhm.
that more fluid ability based currency where it's like, oh, it's out of your price range. Okay, well, how about this version? How about the version that does track your data? How about the version that, it's a little banged up. It seems like it should work normally every time, but
Yeah.
it's the no refund as is version. Like this mouse I
Caveat
bought.
emptor.
Yeah. Where
Li-
it's like, yeah,
Did
refurbished.
you
Yeah.
refurbished? Yeah. Oh God, that's good.
And I
That's
like
a
doing
yeah.
that because then that gives me an in for with my players to be like, "Oh, narrative tension. I can at this moment be like, "Oh, here's what happens." Or on something that like, oh, they rolled a low roll on something. Be like, "Oh, okay. Did you mess it up? No, you're doing fine. This is what happened. Like, this was
Yep.
out of your control.
You are driving a Ford Pinto, and unfortunately, the road trip is going to go very differently than you expected
Yeah.
because of that.
Oh, Meredith D bringing
Yeah.
up Deadlands reliability. Yes, there's several systems that have like a reliability, and I love that as a thing that
Mhm.
like is a commodity that you can have in items.
And you can absolutely work that into magic items too. Like,
Oh my gosh,
hey, I have
yes.
this magic wand. I love it when you do things with magic items where it's like, okay, so I've got this wand of fireball and it glitches, and you're like, what? What is it okay? And then it gives like a double-sized fireball the next time by accident. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like magic weird. Sorry.
Yeah.
Magic wand broken.
Like just like computers. Sometimes it does weird things. Sometimes it crash and restart. Sometimes it's slow. It's magic.
Sometimes magic blue screens.
Sometimes it does. And I feel like especially with trying to understand like technology and like science, gravity, all that stuff, where it's like, oh, but I know, like, oh, but Fireball it should work like this. Like this is how the wand should work. It's like, do you know how your car works? No. You know what it's
Yeah.
supposed to do. And you know
Yeah.
when it doesn't do that, that's wrong, but you don't know why it didn't do that, and you don't know if it's going to do something a little different next time because of that thing that happened. Like, unless you want to be
Hmm.
a full ass mechanic, cool, then you do.
Yeah.
But then you don't know how
Yeah, then
your
you do.
computer works. You don't know how your
Yeah, are
phone
you a
works.
full-ass wizard?
Yeah, like
I want to be a full-ass wizard in my next game. I want to be a full-ass wizard who is Bernie Sanders. That is my character.
1,000
I'm once
years
again
old.
asking you for your full ass. Full ass wizard. I'm gonna make a t-shirt of that.
I need to know what the art for the full ass wizard t-shirt is.
I feel like it's just gonna be text. And he's like full ass wizard. I guess does that mean that like he's an ass wizard? Like I guess like there's some thigh wizards and then like but he's an ass wizard. That's what he's into.
I was thinking he's got the full ass. Like so I'm thinking like you have like
Oh,
a
he thick?
bearded wizard. Yeah, like a bearded wizard in robes, but like they're turned backwards and like looking behind him like this, and then the robes just go
Ooh.
bam.
Is there like
at
is
the
there like a
ass.
little imp, like a puppy imp, style like pulling on his underwear, like in the old pinups? You know, he's a, I like it.
That's a full
I
ass
need
wizard.
that art. So he's also a model, apparently.
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
when it's like, oh, you hear those clapping, you better start running.
Oh,
Because the full ass wizard's coming.
I cast invisibility on myself, but you can still hear me coming by the clapping of my thunder cheeks. God,
That's why the
Disadvantage
wizard
on
has low stealth, is because the thunderclap.
it's true. Yeah, yeah. Disadvantage from the clapping of my cheeks. By
Yeah.
the clapping of my cheeks, something.
But that's also
Something
how you
reeks
can
out,
cast
yeah.
thunderclap or
Oh,
whatever
it's
it's
kind of
called.
like
Thunderstorm. Yeah,
That's how bards do it, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah,
like 90%. If not, that's how they should.
yeah. I think so. I think that's how it works. There needs to be like a subclass for bards that is just like an exotic dancer.
Oh my gosh, yes.
For too long, we have just been dealing with singers. What about the storytellers, the exotic dancers,
Yeah.
the beat poets, the slam poets?
Absolutely gonna do that, and then gonna have like a 8 or like 6 foot immovable rod that is a pole. That you just go and then you start working it.
Yep.
Bam.
Yep. And I know the College of Dancing is a thing, chat. I know the College of Dancing is a thing, but the College of Erotic Dancing is, as far as I know, hasn't come from Hasbro yet.
Yeah. Yet. They no.
You're probably not going to do that, but
No, they don't.
I'll do it. I'll do it as a third party. Let's go.
That's a free post on Reddit. We'll make.
Find me on itch.
the college of the call of the pole, and then
The Call of the Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just like a subclass for each one. Oath of the Pole, Circle of the Pole,
knowledge of the pole.
Yeah. Pact of the Pole. Pact of the Pole is probably the best.
I like that. We should also do martial classes. Like we got to have Rage of the Pole.
Oh yeah, Rage of the Pole, Pole Rage.
Yeah.
Let's see. What would it be? The what are the monk ones called? They're
Ooh.
is it just school?
Are they
No,
school?
that's
I don't know what
wizards.
they are. Yeah, wizards are
What do the
schools.
monks do? I never
They
play
a lot.
monks.
They do so much.
They're
They're
great. Monks are great.
oh, way of. Thank you, GM
The
Moonwolf.
way
Way
of the
of the
pole.
pole.
The way of the pole. Also
Yes.
known as Poldo. Poldo.
Paladin
My
second.
ancestors taught me the way of the pole. I just picture Ken Watanabe from any movie where he's been a samurai, just like grinding the pole with his butt. Let them fight. Like, oh god,
I love it. See,
that's great.
and
It's
that's
happening.
why it's better to personalize and have a thing be like, this is your thing, because that makes it better.
Yeah, there we go. We solved magic.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
That's it.
It is getting close to wrap time. So if anybody has any specific magic questions, ask them now. And we'll get to them. But otherwise, uh, I think the pole dancing is just the best
You
thing
can't
that we
beat
can come.
that.
Yeah. And the,
Can't beat
the
that.
full ass wizard.
Full ass wizard.
Also,
Oh god,
it's upsetting that people only make the sorcerer and the bard like the obligatory sexy mages. Like, no,
Mhm.
have a sexy wizard. Come on.
Okay, you know what? You ever run a game for me? I will play a sexy wizard who danced his way through magic school.
Yes, like that was their job.
No, Yaz, not
Yes,
yes,
I
Yaz.
love it.
Oh, that's my character, and he might be Bernie Sanders now. Now I'm picturing Bernie Sanders in thigh high heels. You know what? I've seen worse.
I could dig it.
I can
I
take it.
could, I could dig Bernie Sanders in thigh
Once
high
again,
heels.
I'm asking you for your crisp, clean ones. Oh
That's
God.
beautiful. Silver Hole asks, have you ever given a player an item, then forgot about it, and it suddenly pulled it out at a moment that just throws the whole encounter into chaos? Have you?
Uh, yeah. Well, so one of my players in a game, I rewrote a bunch of the deck of many things, so they'd be more stream playable, so they wouldn't be quite as
Mm,
disruptive for stream, but they'd still have
yeah.
magical elements. And a player got 3 uses of the gate spell from it,
Ooh.
and I made that. I'm like, it'll be great. And then I'm like, all right, so now you have to do this long trek through the underground. You have to do all of these like long tricks, long treks. And the player's like, I could just cast gate, and I'm like, oh my god, I have 12 episodes planned. You can just bypass it. God damn it. I am the dumbest person alive. And it's always stuff like that. It's always like, an unlockable door. Gave me a key that opens any door once. Oh my god.
Yep.
Or an ununlockable door. An unlockable, a permanently
Unlockable.
locked door. A locked door, I guess one might call it. Oh yeah, no, that happened in just a couple of episodes ago in something, and I was just like, oh god. So I messaged the player and I'm like, hey, can you save this for a more important event? And they're like, yes, I can, because I realize you didn't plot. And I'm like, look, I gotta do this one plot that I know you want. Let's just go with it. That's my advice as a DM. Talk to your players if you paint yourself into a corner. Just be like, hey,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just human. Like,
Please help me.
but yeah, no, I totally did that. Have you?
I've 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 definitely been that player. Uh First of all, I think there is I know I've done it. I can't think it off the top of my head because I think there are two types of DMs. There are those who have had it done to them and
Mm,
those that aren't being creative enough with the items they give their players. So,
mm,
give your players breaking items. It's fun. I did that. The
true.
spoilers for Adventures Nigh, the end of season 3. I had throughout the season I got a shield of portal, which allowed me to make one portal and then make another portal like 30 feet away. And the big bad had come in. Spoilers, sorry, this is how the season big bad encounter ends. And I was like,
Mm,
cool. earlier in the like a few episodes earlier, I was like, how heavy is this statue of the royal family? And he's like, oh, it's super heavy. It's, you know, blah blah. I was like, okay, cool. How big is it? It's like, okay. 2 episodes later, I'm like, I'm standing next to the statue of the human version of this giant beast and his family. Is like, yeah, it's like cool. I cast portal under it, and then I cast portal 30 feet above him, and
Now you're playing with portals.
yeah, that just crushes him. And it was delightful. And I got to do like a nice sentimental send off of like, because it's the person, the horrible figure is the like monstrous version of the one of the people in the statue, and being like, hope you find peace in the next life, and then drop a statue of them and their family on them.
That's really cool. Like that's fucking epic. Like that's really cool.
I felt real good about it. Not gonna lie, it was
I
really
bet.
fun.
No, that sounds great. Like oh god, the layers there. Like an English major would have so much fun with that. The simile, the metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, all of that. It's so that's great. That's great. My dumbest one is I had a locked door once, and it was like there was a riddle attached to it that literally was just you had to knock on the door, or no, you had to do like you just had to like put your hand on it. But the way that the players read it was they like ended up like fist bumping the door trying to get. Anyway, it was just like players. I forget that it was it was like 5 years ago, but like players make the game so much fun because they're so weird.
Yeah,
they're so weird.
I love when I can make a inescapable encounter. Because if I like know the people that are playing, because I can be like, no, they'll make it out. Like this,
they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna think of something, and I just want to give them a challenge. So, a Crime Bastard with another question said, have you ever used synthetic magic like in Ars Magica, nouns and verbs put together to create effects? Ooh. No.
I've never actually played Ars Magica as much as I've played Mage and World of Darkness games, which precurse or well, Ars Magica like inspired a lot of those.
Ooh. I want to. I would love to be able, like, one of the things I would love to be able to give my players is like a scroll that like lets you change one word in a spell to any other word, like stuff like that. So like, which will clearly allow them to do something that will ruin my campaign, which will be
who
great.
Doesn't want to use the wash spell?
Yeah.
Or my favorite, Anime Dead, where you just summon a bunch of like anime skeletons, you know, in the name of the moon.
I feel like Anime Dead just kills anime. It's just suddenly the genre is gone.
Anime Dead, just gone. It's gone. Welcome, welcome.
No new animes. That's it, everybody. We're done.
No, we're never getting season 3 of Solo Leveling. No.
There's the system that I made, Lexicon, is kind of similar to that effect, and that's why I like it, where you just use words and short sentences that are called qualities, and the more of those you can string together, the better your chance of rolling. They're like each one you can use as a +1 bonus to your roll. So the idea being like if you're a mage and you have like fireball as a spell, that's one quality, and then you have your okay, but I'm using my staff. My staff is an item, that's a quality. Okay, cool. Oh, I've also been studying. I got straight A's in wizard school. That's a quality. So it's like you're building up things that you want to be good at, and then using that as your structure for how you want to do it.
I was the valedictorian, majored in fire. You just want to have that Gandalf moment where he's like reading off his like resume on the bridge. Lord of the Sacred Flame, intern of the Hidden Valley, you know. I do love that scene though. It's so good.
It is really
that's
good.
what makes magic special, because it adds gravitas.
Yeah, like that.
Need that gravitas, damn it.
I love the idea of reading your resume as part of the spell. Like, no, this is why it's gonna work. Are you kidding me?
I had a gap in this resume when I took some time to study abroad.
That's when I was in the underworld learning their secrets to magic. Yeah.
And then I took some me time. Yes. God. And here I work for Toys R Us and Radio Shack. You can't look it up. They're both defunct. Did you know I was the CEO of Radio Shack? Fact check me. You can't. Magic.
Oh, I love that. All right, I think that's us on time. So thank you everybody for coming. Always a delight. I love doing this. Thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, of course.
Absolute
Anytime.
delight. Well, then we'll do it again, and we'll have another
Do it
subject we
again.
want to talk about,
All right.
and we'll chat about it.
Horses.
We could just. I will just talk about horses. I would love to, because there are some interesting things about horses. There's a bunch of creepy things about horses. There's horse alternatives. Like, I don't like horses. My worlds always have tons of horse alternatives. You got chocobos. You got your horse-like things, but have a different face. You got like your snub-nosed horse. It's like a bulldog's head on horse body. Boom.
Riding dogs are the best.
Riding dogs.
I'm running Saturday nights. I run a D&D game that's set in like a Western era of like kind of like Australia, but it's the Wild West, but it's D&D. They have riding lizards because I wanted some damn lizards.
Yes, riding lizards.
Great. Riding lizards and guns. Riding lizards, guns, and magic. You can't beat that. Come over and watch. Called Cold Iron. It's fun.
Oh my gosh. When you have an opening, let me know. Riding lizards, guns, and magic in Australia sounds like a great time.
It's not bad so far. But I'll keep you in mind, man. That sounds like fun.
That sounds great. Yeah, let people, what else? Do your last hurrah on telling people where to find and what they should look at.
Hey, folks, if you are looking for actual plays or other great content, head to Dorktales. We're pretty dope. You can find us over on YouTube. You find us on Twitch. Right now, I'm running that Cold Iron game. We have, if you're interested in finding out more about this whole like Mage the Ascension thing, we run a fantastic Mage the Ascension Victorian era game that is fully costumed. It's fully soundtracked. It has a cast of 4 of my favorite players, a cast of 4 women who are traveling through the various parts of the Victorian world as they discover magic and themselves, while being in the first season tracked by serial killers, and it just gets weirder and wilder from there. We also have a game that just came out on our Patreon that is what if Succession had mages. And so it's like a corporate media empire game that's super dramatic. We also have another one, another Mage. This is the year of Mage for us. We have a Mage 1999 game coming out later this year where it's all 90s and stuff. But we do so much stuff. We do Wizards of the Coast modules if you want to learn how to run some of those and try to make them playable, and just so much stuff. Go check us out. We're a lot of fun, and we've got like 1,000 episodes on our YouTube channel. Like, you'll find something you'll like. I guarantee it.
Sounds awesome.
That's me. That's me.
Cool.
Yep. Or join our Discord. We're nice. We'll talk to you. It's good. It's been wonderful being on here.
Oh, thank you. It's been wonderful having you.
Yeah,
it's been a really fun time.
I'm so excited that you like Mage. I just like that was just like
Mage is great.
I'm like, I don't know, like we've never really interacted before. You're like, Mage. I'm like, I'm with my people. Hello.
It's such a good system. It's just here's creative, so the game. There's creativity with some rules, so we can all like, you can't just be like, I'm invincible. Like, it's so good. God, I love Mage. I really like the World of Darkness system. I do think, like, I really like Vampire the Masquerade. I really like Werewolf is good. I have yet to play a hunter game, and I'm upset about that because it seems so fun.
So we've got a new world hunter game, like Chronicles of Darkness Hunter. That's a legal drama. That's pretty fun. It's on our channel right now, and we've got I'm running the Transylvania Chronicles, like the module from like 1997.
Wow.
So like it starts in the Dark Ages and runs for 800 years. And it's,
my gosh.
Yeah, it's so weird going back, and we could talk about this forever, but it's so weird going back and running a pre-written adventure from 30 years ago almost. And you can see how gaming and the way that these things are written has changed so much over the decades. And it's kind of hard to run because of that, because our sensibilities are so much different now, just in the way that they're structured. Even it's so wild.
Yeah,
I feel like I've
been playing on the on Thursdays I go to a friend's house and we all play like different games, and we played like Mothership and Karen and a bunch of other stuff just for like,
Yeah.
just play little short campaigns of different systems because we all like trying new stuff. And
Mhm.
we're currently playing the 80s TSR Marvel Comics.
Yes, I had a friend who kept
RPG?
trying to get me to play that.
It's a real wacky, real weird system. I'm not going to call it good, but it is fun. It's charming, is what it is. It's
Charming.
Yes, it's charming with all of its weirdness. And one of the things is we're running an adventure that like was pre-made, and it is very much that thing of like, oh, you go to the bar where the villains are, and like what we had was like, oh, we have to get in their graces. We're all gonna go undercover to this villain bar, and like, oh, we have to get this information. And like I was playing Captain America, and I ended up beating Bullseye in a trick shot darts game. And that was how we got everybody on our side, and like made Bullseye like pay for drinks, and then like we got the information we needed. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, these are things that it's like, we are asking him afterwards, like, well, what did it tell? Like, what was the adventure actually supposed to, how are we supposed to? So it was like, you pay the bartender $10 and he gives you the information. Like, that was the whole thing of that. It's like, that's it. You bribe someone for $10? Like, that's insane.
$10 was a lot more back in the day, I guess.
Yeah,
what can you buy for $10? You can buy a sub here on Second.
Join the Patreon. That's 2 months of our $5 tier.
That's 2 months on Patreon? Wow.
Yeah, we have a $5 tier, no ads. Woo. Yeah, like it's just like, it's wild that like, yeah, it was like kind of these very much that like this is where we expect things to go, and that no, people go bananas.
Bribe the bartender.
Yeah, and like that there wasn't bumpers for like other things people might choose to do.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
We could go on a length about this. We should talk about old modules someday. We should just go through a bunch of them.
So next time you're on, we talk about horses. The time after that, we talk about old modules. We've got
and then after that, we'll talk about horror and D&D.
All right, so we got
like 4 episodes.
Yeah, we got 3 ones with you, right? We'll schedule them out.
Yeah, that's good. This just sounds fun.
This is great. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm gonna see if this works. I think that should be the thing. It didn't work. Bummer. Was it this one? Eric set up a thing. There it is. Adventurous Nigh is a Crit Award nominee or finalist for Best Villain, with Latavia Ticklepuss, the person who got crushed by the statue I was telling you about, currently up for Best Villain at the Crit Awards. So if anybody wants to vote, there's a thing. If you don't want to vote, that's fine. If you want to vote for someone else, cool. Just vote. There's lots of people in there. I'm very excited about it because it's very exciting. So I'm telling everybody about it. I hope everybody enjoyed the plushie ad. That was really fun to make.
So good.
Thank you. I might air it on the way out just for funsies. Because who can stop me? Who's going to stop me? Y'all ready for a commercial? Bye, everybody.
The Adventurers Nigh plushies are here!
Hey pals, wanna see my new knives?
Look out, adventurers! It's the evil wizard, Mole Cutpurse!
Not so naked and defenseless now, bitches! Take this!
He's tough, but we can beat him with the power of friendship. And violence!
Each comes with their own weapon with action magnets in their weapon in hand for action holding power!
Mold this over.
Oh, Victor, my trusty henchman. I need help. Wait, I don't have a henchman.
But you do have a shit perception score. Crikey.
Adventurers Nigh plushies with action magnetic weapons, each sold separately or as a bundle with 8 free collectible pins from Second Wind. No assembly required. Batteries are pointless. Must be 21 or older to purchase a drink from Buka. Adventurers Nigh plushies do not move on their own. If they do, call a priest. Ask the parents' permission before nothing. For a grown-ass adult, you can make their own decisions. The Adventurers Nigh Club is not responsible for any injuries sustained while adventuring.